It's calling me, like the rainbow, like the rainbow. It's calling me, like the rainbow, the rainbow.
Hi Nick, welcome to the Online Flooring Expo. Thank you so much for joining us in this impromptu new technology, new format of doing a flooring expo. You're all the way there in the Netherlands, are you not?
Yes, yes. Thanks for hosting me. Awesome to be here with you guys. Indeed, I'm at the moment in Middelburg, which is the southwest of Holland. This is not where our office is or where our factory is, but it's my home office. And since we have like an intelligent lockdown here in Holland, people have no obligation to work from home, but they could if they want. Like if it's not necessary to go to your office, it's better to work from home.
Much more intelligent. And of course, technology in this time has really come to the fore to allow us the best way we can to keep moving. And as a very technology focused company, what are some of your thoughts around our being thrown into new technologies all of a sudden?
Yeah, it's great. I have to admit, we are living here in Holland with 17 million people. And I think the apps and the software like Zoom, Skype, they're ready for it. The internet network, not really.
Sounds like
we are consuming, yeah. We are consuming way too much like MBs or gigabytes a day. And with everybody staying in their home, these are home like networks. It's not great, but we learned from this situation, hopefully. And I think this is the future.
Nick, I wanted to ask you, you've got some really exciting machinery and systems that I've been drooling over for some time now, and you've taken existing systems and elevated them and brought them to the global market. Can you tell us a little bit more about these super exciting systems that I can't wait to get here in South Africa?
When we started in 2015, I had a background of working for 5 years for a cleaning wholesaler selling different brands of cleaning equipment. And what we saw is that the demand of the market was changing a little bit. So people needed to work faster. They had more pressure from their objects where they cleaned, that it needed to be done in less time for less money. But it was not really a fair question because the equipment that they used didn't change over the last maybe 25, 30 years. So with these questions from the market, we developed a new system, which is not completely new. The technique that we use is already 35 years old. So what we did, we make eccentric moving machines. They are square and they work at 2,850 RPM. So way more movements. The square shapes allow you to clean in the corners. You don't have this limitation with a round disc, which you have with a round disc. It's a very versatile machine, so you can use it for different applications, different flooring. I think you can use it for basically all hard floors.
Absolutely, and that's what I saw. I saw this machine, and I know the technology has been around, but if nobody knows about it, then nobody can actually invest in that technology. And with our global market, internet, and our flooring industry evolving to like LVTs and SPCs and laminates and all of or tiles, where you've got these grooves, you've got these textures, and your system just gets into those textures, also being sustainable, using water, you can pull back on the chemicals, and then that's not even talking about the sanding and like the versatility of the machines.
Maybe to break it down in like five benefits, this is what we did. And you must be familiar with the concept of the Big Five in South Africa. We call it the Excentr Big Five. So the first thing that we do with this new method, because we, like you said before, not a new machine, but we built a method around it, so people understand how to use it and know where to use the machine. So the first of the Big Five is that it's absolutely a time-saving machine. So we are the machine is a little bit more expensive, But the return on investment is like the rate and the calculation. If you make it, we have a calculation system for it. It's like awesome. It works about 4 to 5 times faster. So imagine you are sanding a wooden floor or deep cleaning, maybe the best example, you deep cleaning industrial kitchens. And normally this will take you around 3.5 hours. It costs a lot of time to pour the water and the chemical on the surface. The chemical needs to stay there for 10-15 minutes to solve the grease. Then you use your single disc machine and you go over the surface. If this process will take you 3-4 hours, we will do it in 1. We will use only water and we can work straight away with the machine. And due to the fact that we have 15 times more movement, so we go from 180 RPM in a single disc machine to 2,850 with our Excentr system, with the Excentr method. So 15 times more movement is about 4 times faster to do the job.
And also with these brush systems, obviously you're oscillating, so there's not that buildup of heat as well, and you're able to get really into those grooves.
Yeah, and you have way much turning points in your movements.
Yeah.
And if you work with, for example, a brush, we don't really have these traditional long brushes, but we have brushes with very small fibers. They are positioned like this, and in every small turn that it makes, it like scrapes the dirt from your surface. So this makes it so effective. Second thing that we do, we are now able to reach the corners and like the sides. With a round disc, imagine it in a square area. I don't know whoever invented the round machine, since all areas are square. It's kind of strange, right? You're never able to reach all the hard to reach places for a single disc machine. So and with that fact, if you are doing some stripping or floor preparation or wood sanding, the most buildup from lacquers, oil, polymers, PUs are in those corners because people didn't walk there. So it's like unharmed and the hardest to remove. And exactly on that piece of surface, your single disc machine, it cannot reach. So that's, I think, a big benefit that we can cover all areas. That's the second one. The third benefit, like we already mentioned, it's 100% or at least 99% chemical free. And I think this is a good thing, of course. It saves you a lot of risks. It's environmental friendly. It comes with less expenses. So this is also good for your return on investment on your machine. And I already mentioned a reduce of risks, but I think especially in the more heavy applications, it's a good thing. The cleaning industry is, especially in industry, people are in the industrial sites, they use the employees that also operate big machines or doing just their job. They're not cleaners. Yeah. And then at the end of the day, they must clean for 30 minutes with pH 14. If you don't know what you're doing, it's dangerous. Reducing chemicals is also nice if you, for example, have a PVC floor, and these times with water-based glues, it's better to clean with just water and less water than with all kind of chemicals on your surface. So that was 3. 4 is that everybody can work with this machine. So it's really ergonomic. Yeah. Did you guys ever work with a single disc machine?
I tried, but I got flung against the wall, so never again.
It's not so easy, right? No, you need technique. And even if you have technique, it's like if you work with it 8 hours a day, you will be tired at the end of the day. I think the people who are going to visit our online exhibition, they are professionals. So at least half of them will say, I can do this with 2 fingers. And probably they are right. But is it relaxed to do it? I don't think so. And this is something we changed a bit. You can switch the machine off and release it and nothing will happen. It's just really by one finger you push the machine forwards and backwards. By lifting the wheels a little bit on your handlebar, you can move sideways. So you can move in all angles and directions without any efforts. And then the 5th benefit is that we can deep clean. And this is something that a traditional scrubber dryer single disc machine always have found very hard to do, because you have this rotational movements. And with a movement which is going in one direction, and for example, crowding or crown-like structure, you are only touching the insides. You never really reach the depths. Then us with these very small 7 millimeter movements and special pads that are situated like this, we are really deep cleaning the surface. Most of the time without chemicals, because the problem is residue. So there is so much, most of the time, so much soap into your surface, or in your surface, in the pores, in the structure. And best way to clean it is just by reducing your residue, the old soap.
So Nick, with the COVID-19 and a whole focus on disinfectant and cleaning, I would say there's never been a better time to have a leading cleaning technology than right now. What are some of your thoughts around how cleaning is going to change on the job sites going forward with a much bigger focus on cleanliness and hygiene?
I think it's very good to know and to tell everybody that like there is a big difference between cleaning and disinfection. So we shouldn't mess these two things up. I think if you want to disinfect, you first need to really clean the surface. And this is where we come in. So with our system, you are able to, I'm not sure what the English word is for it, but in Holland we say like a zero job, that you clean the floor back to the original state. And I think this is very important. Before you want to disinfect, it's pointed to disinfect a dirty surface. So we have the equipment to really deep clean the surfaces, even to remove, for example, some polymer layers to build up new polymer. I think a proper cleaning job and then a disinfection job is the way to go.
So Nick, this machine, they don't, as you mentioned before, it doesn't just clean, it also can do a couple of other things like sanding, etc., etc. Can you expand on that for me a little bit?
Yeah, sure. So basically when we started, we focused on hard surfaces and we wanted a versatile machine that could do everything. So our main focus in the first 3 years was not the bigger cleaning companies, but like the man with the van. So one guy, a van, and equipment in his truck. And so we made, we have about 50 different kind of pads and brushes, 50,
Wow.
so a lot of them. And we can use them for cleaning, for deep cleaning, for stripping, top stripping and deep stripping, so both. We can use them for sanding woods, which is also getting more popular and popular because people are starting to use more oils, which need more maintenance. So we can use like soft 260 grit aluminium oxide pads to remove only a few microns from the wood. But we also have like 16 grit sandpaper, which will remove a few millimeters from the wood. So So that's what we can do. We also have pads now to remove like PUs from VCT or PVC flooring. So if you have some scratches in your PVC, you can just scratch it in, but then very fine, make it open.
So if I can say, what you're doing is you're keying in the surface so that you can apply the primer and new coating on top.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's like preparation, floor preparation, and we can do that on VCT, on PVC, but also on coated concretes and like every coated floor.
Wow.
Yeah, we can polish concrete. We can grind concrete. We have a very, very nice system for natural stone. Actually, two systems. One based on bonded diamonds, so to grind and polish orange peel free or leather look free on natural stone, but also simpler systems just with diamond pads in 3 steps from a dull surface to a high polished or a polished surface, satin finish or high gloss finish.
Wow.
Yeah, so on hard surfaces we have like we have plenty of options. Soft surfaces is something that we are doing as well, but then we use our Excentr 43. So till now we have talked about square machines with a small eccentric movement, But we also have our Excentr 43, which is an orbital machine. And with the orbital system, we make an eccentric movement, but also like a full rotational movement. So it's orbital. And this is a very effective way of cleaning a lot of square meters of carpet in an hour. So spray extraction, to be honest, is like it's better. Like you clean all the way to the bottoms of the carpet belts. But with this system, you can do a lot of square meters. So it's very popular for hotels, for cruise ships, for guys with a lot of square meter of carpets.
All right, so Nick, obviously you're based in the Netherlands and you're throughout Europe, but what are your plans for Africa and South Africa?
Yeah, so at this very moment we are active in a few countries. Not South Africa, unfortunately. So what we are trying to do is find a very enthusiastic distributor that is willing to arm the system. This always comes with training, with all the marketing tools that they need. We make like a project plan together, how to get the Excentr method into the South African market. So what we basically looking for is a distributor.
Awesome.
That is willing to do that.
Hopefully, Flooring Africa, we have quite an audience within the African market, and through watching this video, we can entice someone, because I'm a firm believer. I can just see how versatile. And when you mentioned earlier on the man in a van kind of concept, especially for our entrepreneurial small businesses, I think they could really buy into that. I think that would be a very... I'm just thinking LVT, SPC, stripping, the cleaning, the services post installation. That's such a versatile tool. So I'm super excited to see your success here in the African continent.
Me too. 100%.
And Nick, we are keen to, through this expo, really inspire and uplift the flooring industry with great things to think about and motivation to keep going. Have you got something you'd like to share with our community on your thoughts on getting through this crisis and getting to the other side?
I think this is the time to learn about innovation. For the cleaning companies that maybe have less work, we see them a lot. They are asking for e-learning programs. They are really digging into the theory and the practice on new concepts. I think everybody has now, not everybody, the people who are not really busy with disinfecting at the moment have the time to dig in innovation, learn about it, and make themselves future-proof, just improve themselves to come out better.
I definitely think, there's a lot of change happening across industries at the moment, and how we adapt to these changes that I don't think they're going to go away. They might calm down a little bit, but they are here to stay. And how our various customers and suppliers and how we all work together on how we adjust our methodology, we make ourselves more worthwhile to our community. It really is. It's about communication, and it's about a refined game. And I think your machines, they really do offer a lovely angle, which I'm excited to see you guys grow. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Online Flooring Expo. We really do appreciate your support, and we wish you all the best through this, tough times, but I think it's changed us come under pressure, and I think we get to see some good things come out of this as well.
Yeah, thank you very much for the great interview. Thanks for having me, and I hope it will be a success.